used. So as part of this particular data types, we have been discussed about int, float, char, boolean, string. So these are all things we have been discussed about this. Now we wanted to talk about the typecasting. Now, what is this particular typecasting and how this particular typecasting can be used for it? The first basic thing which we need to understand is typecasting is nothing but casting. So you know the iron casting, right? So means transforming that particular iron into the different shapes. Then that is called casting or moldings. So now, for example, now you will be having different deities. We will be having it, right? So converting that particular iron into the different deities. So those things we will be changing the shapes, right? So from iron to the different shapes. That is called casting. The same way, changing from one form to another form. The basic definition of casting is changing from one form to another form is called casting. Now, what is this data type casting? So actually, this is one of the important interview question. So because this is typecasting, so now we will be having another thing called upcasting and downcasting. So what is upcasting? What is downcasting? So that you'll be learning in the next when we talk about this particular objects will be once again touching back this particular topic. But here it is very clearly saying that data type casting. Okay, data type. So that's the reason in the short form they will be calling this one as typecasting. So whenever you see the typecasting means it is data type casting. Don't get confused because there are two questions which it is like what is typecasting and what is upcasting or downcasting. I'm getting echo. Anyone have any question?
We have an echo.
Deepanjana, can you go on mute? Is it same now?
Yes, sir.
Monica, can you go on mute? Everyone go on mute. I don't think now we are getting it. Yeah. Someone raised hand. Any questions? Okay, let me take you through this one. So now, anyways, so they the part of that one. So we'll be discussing about the upcasting. So now, as of now, we'll be going ahead with the typecasting. What is typecasting? So always you remember that typecasting would be changing from, as I told you, changing from one form to another form is called casting. So now typecasting. So typecasting when you assign a value for a one primitive data type to another primitive data type. So it is very simple. So you are casting from one data type to another data type. So, but here it is for primitive data types we are talking about it, not about the non-primitive data types. Now, when we wanted to convert from one form to another form, so this is called typecasting. And now in this particular typecastings, you will be having the wide casting and then narrow casting. So now let me see that, so how this would be, so that you can clearly understand what is this wide casting and then narrow casting. So if you see here, so now you have seen the road widenings, right? So this is the road widenings. Now for an example, this is a highway. Okay, so now this highway is means converting into one basic single road. Okay, and now this single road converting into a highway. Now you can see this one, right? So a bigger type converting into the smaller road, a bigger road. Okay, bigger road converting into a smaller road, and a smaller road converting into a bigger road. Now here you need to understand the bigger data types. Now what is the bigger data types we have? Means bigger data types means If size is bigger, the data type is bigger. These both are same, right? Size means the size of the data type, right? What is the bigger data types we have?
Long,
Double.
Okay. So now the long double we will be having it. Then we will be having
long,
int,
float integer.
float. So now because these are 8. So now if you see here, they have been given the hierarchy. So now byte, short, char, int, long, float, double. So these are the ascending order and descending order will have it, right? Same way. Now this is ascending order, and then this is what the descending order. So now widening means you see it, the road widening. So now from the smaller, you're going to the bigger. So that is the reason it started from the byte. Now it has went to the double. Means converting from any particular smaller thing to bigger data type, then this is called widening data type, widening casting. And from the higher to the smaller, then this is called narrow. So this is called narrow widening. So here you can clearly see that. Here you can clearly see that widening casting and narrow casting. Okay, and the most important thing is this is automatic. The widening casting is automatically can done, but narrow casting it would be manually should be done. So first of all, you need to understand what is widening and what is narrow. So now here you can, in this particular diagram itself, you can see it. So widening means from small road to the bigger road, means you are making this and as a bigger one, the road widening. So then this is called widening. Widening always happen automatically. What is this automatic means? Conversion of this data type can be easily converted from this one to this one. But when it is converting from high to low, so now you need to compress that one. So this which it need to do manually. So the question would be asked in such a way that what would be the manual conversion will happen for which type? The manual conversion happens in the data type casting. So normal casting will take it as a manual casting for this. Now let me take you through this one. Just give me a second, please. If you see here, I wanted to convert this one. So now this is the example, right? So now what I wanted to converting, this is my integer, and the integer I'm converting into double. What is this? What type of casting is this?
White casting.
This is an example for the white casting, because integer have the size of 4. Now double the size of 8. Now we need to convert. So from small to bigger. So this will happen automatic. So then what it has been done, you see it directly what we have done. So int I defined, and then I'm taking this one into the double. Directly I'm storing this particular variable. So now that variable here, and I'm storing this particular variable into the double variable. So now if I printed this mint, this will print as 9 and this will print as 9.0. Very simple, right? Any questions in here? Any questions? Now,
No,
like
sir.
such a way that anything can be converted into the widening casting. So as this is happening in means automatically, there is no problem. So this is called auto casting also. This will be called as auto casting because automatic, they will take the first 4 letter, do the auto casting. So don't get because these are the different names in the interviews that people will ask you. They will not ask you the widening casting. They will say that, hey, do the auto casting for this. Auto casting means you should understand. Okay. So if someone is asking you on this particular type casting or on this particular widening casting or anything, so really he have a very good knowledge. Because when someone is asking you from the basics, so he was very thorough from the concepts of the basics. You need, first of all, you need to gauge your interviewer, what the level of interviewer you're facing. See, randomly asking one question. See, now there is a procedure to ask the interview. So I don't know whether the people will prepare for the, to take the interview you prepare, or to attend to the interview also. Means always the people think that for attending the interview you need to prepare, but for taking the interview also you should prepare. How you should gauge a candidate and how you need to ask a question, and within first 5 minutes how we can gauge a particular candidate. So this is an art. Now you should, means when someone is asking you from the basics, he is just trying to give you the comfort. And if someone directly jumped into the topics, he wanted to target you and see, he wanted to give you a complex things and then see it. So that's a situation based. So that is where you need to understand. So I used to give the trainings on how to attend for an interview. So there, that particular topics we will discuss about that. Okay, but always you remember, if someone is asking you the basic questions from the type casting and these things, you should remember that he is really good in Java. Don't play with them. And always this is very good thing. If you don't know something, you can confront them saying that, boss, I don't know, sorry. Don't give the beating around the bushes. So when you start giving it, they can easily identify that. Okay. So now for type casting, in the type casting, widening casting and narrow casting, and we have discussed about the widening casting. So any questions still here?
No, sir.
Okay. So now we need to do the narrow casting. So actually speaking, there are certain terminologies which you need to understand. So keeping this particular integer in this particular basis into this. But actually speaking, there are certain concepts when you go for the object, you will be understanding that. But now to make you to understand it in a simple format, okay, to make you to understand in a simple format, what I'll be telling you is just write this one. This is, follow this one as a syntax. But what is the meaning of this one? I'll explain you in the when we discussed about the objects. See, now this is called manual casting. Now what is narrow casting? Converting from bigger data type to the smaller data type. At that point of time, we'll be using the manual casting, right? So when you're using the manual casting, at that point of time, you see the bigger data type you have been defined, and you're taking a smaller data type. Now smaller data type, I'm taking it as an integer. So whatever the data type you wanted to convert, so that particular data type you need to give it manually here in front of this particular the variable which you have been defined here. Now I wanted to convert this one into byte. Same that particular byte will be there, byte variable will be there, and here you'll be giving the byte. If I wanted to convert into the short, or I wanted to convert into the float, so that float will be defined here. Got it? So as of now, you follow this one as a syntax. Why we need to write in this particular format and then this the definition for this one? So these things we'll discuss in the further topics. So what we are trying to do? Data type, variable. Always you remember, this is data type, variable, and value. So explicitly for this particular value, whatever it was stored, 9.7D, 78D. So that particular value will be here. And explicitly we are converting that particular value into the integer. Actually, there is another method is there, integer of, string of. Means if you see here, we are seeing only the conversion for the primitive data type. Now, if I wanted to convert a string into the integer into a string, there are certain methods, direct methods are there. So which we can't do it from this particular casting, because that's a non-primitive data type. Okay, for strings. So that we will do anyways later. We have method in the strings. That is the reason I asked if you prepare, means if you have done it well in the methods, you will be seeing that particular strings also. Okay, so as of now you need to understand what is typecasting and what are the different type of typecasting, what are the different names of those particular widening casting as auto casting, narrow casting as a manual casting. In auto casting directly it can be casted, and when it go for the narrow casting it need to be manually done, whatever the data type we are using it. So we need to give a prefix for that one, for that particular data type, and then we need to do on this. So this is called narrow casting and wide casting. Okay, so any questions on this one? This is called casting, typecasting. So people will pronounce it in a different way. You don't need to worry about it. Casting. So different ways. So you don't need to worry about that. Any questions?
Sir, which means now the string method that you told, like converting any data variable, any data type into string, we use the value of method. Is that typecasting?
No. That I'll talk about later. So we have
Okay, sir.
the string methods are different. See, for converting integer to string, integer to string value of. So these are the methods which we will be using it of. So string form. So these are different methods are there because there is a difference between. I need to say this one also. Difference between int versus integer. So once again, you will be having these differences. Where to use which method so that it differs, because
Okay.
there is a difference between int and integer, and according to that particular int and integer, so these particular methods would be used. Okay, to
Okay,
string
sir. Thank you.
we'll be using for something, and then value and these things will be used. However, in the further, because if I given you all these things at one shot, it might confuse you. Just hold on
Okay,
for some
sir.
more time.
Okay, sir.
Okay, cool. Any other questions here?
Yes, sir. One question from my side, sir. Sir, in narrowing casting, sir, always we are loss of data, sir. Means uh,
Why you will have loss of data?
means sir, see in the downside, the scroll down, sir. The 9.27, whatever the example, 9.78 is there, sir. And then I will change that after the when after the manual casting, then we got the 9, sir. We can
See,
say
you
loss of
need to
data, sir,
understand
here.
one pointer, Anish. So there is an option to do the casting, but it is not mandatory to do the option casting. If you feel, see now, if you are converting from this one to this one, means there is certain reason to convert this. If you wanted to convert, this is the option, but this is not mandatory, right? So you know, if you do the casting, this will lose the data. Not loss the data, it changed the value. That is not called as loss of data. This is called change of value. You don't want that particular digital, the decimal values. So that's the reason you convert into this. Or you can do the round of this one. So if you do the round of, it will go for 10. So that you'll be doing in your math, Java math. But when you're doing this narrow casting, it means you know that you will lose this. You know that this value will be changed to this. So there should some reason of changing this one. See, everywhere are you using narrow casting? No. Where you are using, you should know this is the impact of this one. Okay, whatever the decimal, even if you have 9.9999, so that particular values would be not considered. Only the 9 would be considered. If you wanted to have that complete round of value, then go for math and then convert into it. Do the round off and then come to conversion of the int. What the round off will do? My double round off, if you have done in the math, you can see that method. You will have round.
They will change the nearby value, sir.
That is what I'm saying. Round off is that is what the change nearby value, right? If it is below 0.5, it will change it to that particular previous value. If it is above 5, then it will go for the next value. That is how it will change. So then it will go for that particular round. So now that you will be getting in the math. So now what you need to understand is, if you don't wanted to miss that particular value, then round up that value and convert into this. Means if you round it up this one, how much it will come? It will come into 10. Then you convert into this. There is no problem for you, right? If you don't want to change that value. Even though there is a change, right? So it is 7.8, but when you convert into 10.0, as it is a double, you need to have the pointed values. 10.0 means here you are getting 20.22 extra. Or you exclude that one. So then directly you can convert into this narrowcast. It all depends upon your requirement and logic and situation. So any other pointers? Okay, let me go to the next topic, operators. And always you remember, I'm saying it right. If you understand this section and this section, any particular logics, you can write it. This is really basics, and this is really very, very important. And you should know the basic logics. So then definitely you can write on this. First, you should know the usage. And once you understand the usage, writing the logics, definitely that's not a big deal. Okay, let me take you to the operators. Now, when it comes to the operator, so there are 5 different type of operators which we need to understand about it. All they have been mentioned here in this subject. Now, you need to understand that operators are used to perform operation on the variables and values. So now what it means? Now, this is data type, this is value, and sorry, this is variable name, and this is the value. Now, this operator we have been used to add this particular values. So this in this particular statement, operators perform the operation on variables and values. This is the example for the values. What they have done, they have been used an operator, plus operator here. So this is called operator, and this is called, what are these called as?
Operand.
Operand.
These are called operands.
Operand, sir.
So this is operator, and these are called operands. So now what? See, now the first statement, this is done. Now I can use, right, int x plus y. Now it is happening on the variable names. So it can happen on this side or this side. Means the operators can be used on variables and values. Okay, did you understand this statement? And pretty simple, and this is really important. Okay, this is, see, now this is the example. Sum 1 and sum 2 equal to, either this way they can perform or either this way they can perform. See, that is what he was trying to say. Operators often add 2 values like this. It can also add the variables in the values, or it can happen for the variable with another variable. With these 3 examples, you can understand how the operator works. Operator works on values and variables, variables plus values, or variables and the variables. So now this operator might be anything. So now here you use plus operator. but now you can use any number of operators, right? Now, when it comes to the operators, we have 5 categories of operators out there. One is arithmetic operator. Arithmetic means
The basic
Simple
operation.
mathematics
Just
operator.
Subtraction,
arithmetic
multiplication,
operations
division,
like
so.
modulus.
addition,
You see
division,
the definition of
multiplication.
this one. Arithmetic is a fundamental of the mathematics that includes the operation of the numbers. So in Java context, what you need to understand is operations of variables and values. These operations includes addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Arithmetic is one of the most important of mathematics that lays down the foundation of the subject maths of the students. Okay, for the students. Now let's go back here. Now we understand what is arithmetic. Means with the help of arithmetic, it performs certain operations on variables and this one. So now overall, what are the means we have 5 types of operators in terms of Java. In this particular 5 types, one is the arithmetic operator, assignment operator, comparison operator, logical operator, bitwise operator. See, this particular topic would be out of syllabus for us, because if I started to explain the bitwise operator, then you need to go tell the bits in zeros, ones. You need to understand 0, 1 unions and all those things. And these things we will not use at all. So this will be used in algorithms. So shift left and left shift, and even in this logical or in comparison operators also we have this particular operators. Relevance to the bitwise operators will be excluded for the discussion. So because for the basic level or for the basic level it is not really required. Even for the intermediate level also it is not required. But when you go for the expert levels, there we need to understand about the operators. If I'm trying to exclude that one, so because of your benefit, I'm just trying to exclude. But still, no, I wanted to learn. So then out of context, you can come and talk. Because as of now, I don't want to waste for the other people. Now, starting with the arithmetic operator. So now we have been just discussed about what is arithmetic. Arithmetic is nothing but performing certain operations. So means certain operations like addition, multiplication, subtraction. So now if you see here, now these are the operations we have been performing. Okay. Now, when it comes to the plus, means I'm trying to add 2 operators, not 2 or more. Any particular things, if I'm trying to add, I'm adding the particular values. Either you need to remember, so this particular logic, either I can add the values, either I can add the variable and the values, either I can add the variables itself. So this can be applicable for all the operators. So now plus, minus, or subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus. So always you need to remember, when I do division, I'll be getting the quotient. So we have been traditionally we are doing it, right? So now for an example, I wanted to divide 3 divided by 9. Now what I'll try to do? So 3 3s are 9 and 0. Now this is called reminder. This is called, what is this called?
Quotient.
Quotient. Okay. And what is this called?
Numerator, denominator.
Divisor.
Divisor.
Sorry, divisor.
This is called
Divisor.
divisor. What is this called?
Dividend.
Dividend.
Dividend. Guys, see, that is what I'm saying. It. You should learn your 3rd class maths. It is very simple. So this is called dividend, because on this one the dividend means the division was happening. So on which number the division is happening, then that is called dividend. With which number you are dividing, then this is called divisor. The ultimate output which you will be getting it as a reminder. And what is the value you have been means you have been used for your divisor to do the dividend, then that is called quotient. The quotient value will be getting it right. Now when you do something 3 divided by 9, you'll be getting the 9 divided by 3, then you'll be getting the quotient value. When you are doing 9 modulus of 3, this is called modulus symbol. When you do this modulus, you'll be getting
Remainder.
Reminder. So this is a logic always you need to remember. Okay, so now I'll be getting this particular modulus and this one. Okay, now you can see that one. And the next important thing is the increment. This particular increment you have it, right? What do you meant by this increment and decrement? So increment and decrement. So now here it would be incremented by one value. For example, now I have been a equal to 10. Okay, you can add int. So always just for reference I was using it. And a plus plus. Now if I printed this one, SYSO, what is the output for this one?
11, sir.
11.
11, sir.
If I wanted to increment by 3, then see now when I use this particular plus, someone having this echo. Okay, so now when you have been trying to add, if I add plus, then this would be incremented only by 1. But I wanted to see this one as 13. Then
plus equals to.
So at that time we have to
Plus
use the
equals
assignment
to 3.
operators. We need to use some kind of loop.
I equal to I plus 3.
directly we have those, but that means it was
Sir, we
saying
have
A
to
plus
use the
equals
assignment
to
operators.
3. A plus equals to 3.
Practiced it well, so that is the reason you are not able to answer this one. If you practice
Sir,
it,
assignment
it is not a
operator we have
difficult.
to use them.
You can
A plus
have a
equals to
direct method here.
Plus equal to, we have to use.
Not after showing the answer, you shouldn't tell me this one, Vijay. You should have been told me this one before. A equal to plus 3. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So here, this is what you need to understand. Still, you are doing the mistake. Is it right?
The A plus equals 3.
What I have done here? This shows the lack of
No,
practice,
sir.
right?
A equals to A plus 3.
A equal to A plus 3.
A
A equal to A plus 3. Sir.
A plus equal to 3. This will increment. If I given this one, it will print me 13. If I'm doing it A equal to A plus 3, then it was trying to assign me. Now you're adding this one. It's a simple plus operator only, right?
Yes, sir.
But what is my question is, always it need to be incremented by 3. For example, my what would be the output I wanted to see is 3, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. So now this is what the 3 table it need to print. Now what is the logic I need to write? See, A equal to A plus C every time. See, now this is the routine. So now you have another option that A plus equal to 3. If you written this one, so by default with this particular assignment operator, every time when you have been called this value, so then this will be printing with the. So now when you go for loops, you will understand this particular pointer. See, now the basic problem is A plus plus will increment by only 1. Don't feel that this is the syntax. Now A equal to 10. Now when I given the A plus plus, it will increment it to 11. Now next time when I have been incremented, so once again it will go for 12. But now here the incrementation happening with only 1. Now I wanted to increment this particular value with 3. So now at that point of time, a plus equal to 3. This is what I need to give. So that every time when it incremented with the value of 3. Now first time it will print me 3, next it will print me 6, next it will print me 9, next it will print me 12. So this is how this value will be incremented. This is where you need to use this operator. So this will be used in your for loops. So you not at all practice this particular things. Okay. So here assignment operators to assign the values to the variables. So now here previously what we have looked into, we have been looked into operators. Now we wanted to look into assignment operators. So assignment operators are the first basic assignment operator is a equal to 10. So I'm assigning this particular LHS value into the RHS. A equal to 10. Now, if at all I have been written in this way, what is this?
Comparison.
It will compare the 10
So this
and
is comparative operator.
Comparison.
Single equal to, and this one is different. So anyways, that also we will discuss about this. But here, what we wanted to do is assignment operator. You can see this one. So now you people didn't practice this assignment operators thoroughly. You can see that assignment operators are equal to, once you are trying to assign the value from the left hand side. So this value to this value you wanted to assign. Now what this will written, it will print the value. So now as it is, so how you have been written this one, this is the same logic. Means what it will happen with this x equal to x plus 3. So the same thing you can written in this particular format. Where we use this, when you go for the loops, you will understand. See now, when you are writing the basic logic, you will be writing in this pattern. But when you are using in your for loops and everywhere, so this is the way you need to write it. Okay. So, and one more thing. So you need to do the operator still here only. And these are from the logical operators. What is this?
AND operators.
So this is AND operator.
And or.
This
OR operator.
Or opposite.
this
Exclusive or.
XR, sir.
So now I don't wanted to give you this particular topics now. So as of now, as I told you, so just you can leave this particular logical operator, which we will be that we will discuss later. So at least now you need to understand till here. If you are able to understand this, this would be enough as of now for the basic level. So first of all, assignment operator. It is very simple that you can assign. Now we have been given x plus means plus equal to. So plus equal to means, so x plus equal to what the value you wanted to do it. So then this will be there. So this is equal to the same, x equal to x plus 3. Now what is the x value? The x value is 5. Now if I given in this particular pattern, what would be the x value?
8.
8. So now what is the x value?
8.
8. No.
What is this guy?
Again 5.
See, now
5.
5, sir.
5.
5.
5.
print means please type in the chat, please. Type in the chat. How much time it take to just type in a chat? I think people understand the question in a different way. So fine. So now what you are thinking is this particular thing is carrying from here. I'm not asking this carrying.
So if it is
I'm
not
just
carrying,
directly, I'm not carrying value. So just here I have been defined x equal to 5. Now when I'm trying to do with this, not with this statement, you bypass the statement. No carrying is there. So now what is the value of here? I'm asked.
2, sir.
2,
No.
sir.
Okay. So now, see, because everything we are doing independently. So if you're carrying, then that is different. I understand. So I thought like now when you are presenting the all, then I understand on that. Okay. Now this
15.
15, sir.
this
5, sir.
5, sir.
1, sir.
1 point change you will be getting it. This
0.
2,
2,
2,
sir.
sir. 2, sir. 2, sir.
2, sir.
Oh, sorry, sir.
5 divided by 3, you are getting 0. How will you get 0? If you add 0, then it also comes around 3, 12 something. We'll be having at 1.2 change. So it will be coming for this one. Okay, so now what is the thing which you need to understand is this is same as an arithmetic operator, but where we use this particular things is in your loops you'll be trying to add this particular incremental values. So this one will help you to change the basic syntax, or not change, it will upgrade your syntax in for loops. Anyways, you'll go for the for loops here, right? You'll understand that particular pointers here. Okay, but you should know that what operators you are using it, and they have been very clearly given. So in this particular operators, so these operators are similar to this. See now, normal logics when you are writing it. So this is how you'll be writing it. But when you are writing in the for loops and these things, you can write it in this way. Hey, we shouldn't write in this pattern. We can do it, but there is a certain standards which you need to follow in the coding, right? So this is how we will do it. Okay. And go for the comparison operators. When it comes to the comparison,
one thing, sir. Hello.
Go ahead.
Sir, if I write x plus is equal to 3 and x is equal to x plus 3, is there any memory constraint in the memory part while doing coding? Both are taking same memory.
There is no change in the memory, right? See, for an example, now you define this x as an integer. Now, for example, if you define this x as an integer, by default it add 4 space. See now you have this much of room. You can keep this much of sofa, or you can keep this much of sofa, because the room size is this. Same way, when you given an integer, you have been given it as a 4 bytes. Now in this particular 4 bytes, you can have the range of -2 9 digits to +2 9 digits. Anything you can store it here, right? It didn't change the value of your, it will not change your size of your memory until unless you go beyond this number. Got it? Dorka, did you got the answer?
Yes, sir.
Still
yes, sir,
confusing.
but I'm thinking why these sort of rules were made. If x is equal to x plus 3, they can write it.
That
Means
is
variable
where,
x
man.
2
So
times
now
it is
when you
taking.
come to the loops, you will understand why you need to write in this pattern. In the syntax, in the loop syntax itself, I'll show it to you. See, inside the logic, inside the steps, you can write it in this pattern. But in the syntax, see, now you've seen it, right? Here, I can't write I equal to I plus 1. So here, directly what I'll be writing the logic is I plus equal to 3. Means every time this would be iterated for 3 plus. So for making this particular syntax, they have been created in this particular pattern. So here I can write I equal to I plus 1. Or what I need to do, I need to write that particular statement in the body. So in the body, you can write this. In the body, you can write this one. This one. For loop body. But in the main syntax, this is only, rather than writing in the for loop body, in the main syntax, you can write it in this pattern. So that is the reason they have been given this particular option. Or else in the log, for example, now if you wanted to do the same thing on here, so you need to come to the for loop. Here you will be writing I equal to I plus 5. Means every time this loop happens, then this would be incremented by the 5. So you need to make the increment from the loop body. But in the syntax body itself, if you wanted to change it, you can change that. You see the logic here, right? The same thing which I'm explaining here. The same thing you can write it in I plus equal to 2. That is what it mentioned, right? That directly you can give on it. Let's see. Okay, so don't worry. So this would be, means at this point of time, a lot of things, you're learning a lot of new things, right? It might confuse you, but see now output, you'll get the same thing. Nothing difference in this. Memory, it is same thing. Nothing difference in this. But ease of use, which is better, so that will be using it. Okay, see now you can have your phone to take picture. Even you can take GoPro to take your picture. Both are same, right? You're trying to take a picture with the same picture clarity. But which you use, it depends upon you. Okay, fine. Any other pointers to discuss here?
No, sir.
Okay, let me try to complete this particular comparison also. Okay, comparison. So this is a probably worst thing which we always do it, right? So we will use to compare always. So what is this particular comparison? So comparison operators are used to compare two values or two variables. Means I can do the value comparison or I can do the variable comparison. With the variable comparison, it is nothing but the value comparison. So that's the reason they kept it in the braces. Now this is important programming because it helps you find you the answers and they make the decisions. See, now we will compare two and we will say that which is better. So now, for example, now you're comparing the same product in two different sites in Flipkart and Amazon. And you'll see that the cost where it is less, then you'll go and buy there. Same product, less price. You're doing that comparison, right? So always this comparison, why we do is based upon the comparison, you'll be getting the certain outputs, whether it's good, bad. So based upon that, if it is good, then we'll go and buy. If it is bad, you will not buy. The same way, the comparison will gives you the two things, which is true or false, which is the Boolean. The Boolean value will be given for us. Right? So that is what we have been discussed, right? The Boolean values. So here you can see that 5 is greater than 3. It returns true. Then it prints yes. More explanation you can see it in the next if else parts you can try to see on this. Okay. So now what it happened is, so in this particular Java comparison operators, so in this particular Java comparison operators, so you can see that particular things comparison. Now, if it's a single equal to, then that is assignment operator. If you see the double equal to, then this is a comparative operator. Comparative operator. So these are called as comparative comparison operators or comparative operators. Now, we wanted to check x equal to y. Means the value of x equal to y. Then we use double equal to. Now not equal to. Not equal to means x is not equal to y. Greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to. So these are very simple things, right? But still you should practice at least once how these particular values will print for you. All these operators you need to practice. Okay. So I don't think I need to spend the time here, but still if you have any questions you can ask me. Any questions on this? Double equal to, not equal to, greater than. You want me to explain what is greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to? Say something. Yes, no?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
So now here, then we'll go for the logical operators. So this is really very important. So here also you can test true or false with the type means the basic of the logical operators. The logical operators is used to define the logic between the variables and the values. Now here, so you remember the truth table, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
A, B, and output. True, true. If it is AND operator, what you will get it?
True, sir.
True, sir.
True, sir.
False.
True, true will get false.
Yes, sir.
True.
False.
In
False.
AND operator.
True, sir. Sir, if both are true, output is true, sir.
So this is AND operator, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
now this is AND operator. True, true, then it is true. Remaining everything is false in the AND operator. Now, if it is OR operator, then
Anyone true, true, sir.
Anyone
Otherwise,
up to
False. Everything is true.
True, false.
False.
so now this is what AND operator and then OR operator. Now, if you really practice this, you should have been answering this one. What is difference between single AND and double AND? What is difference between single AR versus double R? Huh?
Sir, single ampersand means double ampersand means it's the logical operator. Logical operator it checks for the first condition. If it is condition.
I didn't understand what you spoken. Your voice is completely choppy. Come near mic and talk. Who is speaking?
Am I audible, sir?
You are.
Single ampersand comes under bitwise operator. Double ampersand comes under a logical operator. In logical operator, it checks for the first condition. If the condition is true, it never goes to the second condition.
You're almost right, Maithili. But small, some more you need to give the extension for this. However, I'll talk about this one tomorrow. But what I wanted to see it is tomorrow you guys need to come up with these all from the operators, strings, math, boolean, and I'll add you only one new topic, which is if else. Okay.